Happy Tips and Tea Tuesday, Queen.
Happy Tips and Tea Tuesday to you, Queen. How are you?
Doing good, doing good. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
All right. It's early on a Tuesday.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. We up on a Tuesday morning, but feeling blessed and amazing. I mean, because could have been worse this morning, but we made it. Thank God.
Yes. Please well, I said please. I am still half asleep, everybody, this morning. I've been up since 3 o'clock this morning. So please excuse me, but peace
Ooh.
and blessings, Sister Queen Michelle Ramos. Hey, Queen. Hey.
Good morning. Peace and blessings. How's everybody doing?
Yes, yes. So, Queen, how was your how was your weekend? Because you and I have not had a chance to really catch up. We both been on the move and traveling around the country here.
Yes, yes. My weekend was decent. I mean, I can't complain. I mean, I did have a little unexpected monkey wrench thrown in my plan, but sometimes you just gotta rock and roll with things and just keep it pushing. But for the most part, it wasn't too bad. I did get to see a friend of mine that I haven't seen in a long time. So it was good. It was good. And I'm getting to enjoy a wonderful view this morning. So, sometimes it's worth it. How about you?
Hey, amen to that. Amen to that. Yeah, well, we it's like a family reunion going on this week. So we flew back into Chicago last weekend and
Hmm.
just spending some time with the family. We haven't seen them since Christmas time in person. So I'm here at my mom's house now. That's why the environment looks a little different. So we just got plans for the rest of the week to just kind of spend some time. We're going to hit downtown Chicago. I told you I'm on my food tour. I'm back in my city and
Ooh.
I've not been disappointed so far, So yeah, loving the family time and also the food time as well. So I might come back
I bet.
about
I
15
bet.
pounds heavier, which is good that we have a special guest coming on today that's going to help us get that back in order.
Yes, honey.
But we're
Yes.
not gonna
Get
dive
you
into
back
it
into
yet.
shape.
Not gonna dive into
That's all
that
right.
yet, but
I'm still trying to make my way down there and get my food tour in Chicago. So don't
come
count me
on.
out.
Well, let me know when you're ready. I'll catch a flight. I'll catch a flight. Oh, good morning,
Yes,
Harriet. Good
yes.
morning, Tanisha. How you doing, Queens? Thank you for jumping on the live.
Good morning, Queens. Happy Tips and Tea Tuesday. Let's go. Let's go.
All
Welcome.
right. Well, I think we should go ahead and get into it because, I don't want to miss asking this queen that we're going to have come on any questions because I know she's going to bring
Yes.
in a lot of great information. And I want our audience to be able to also jump in and ask her questions and not run out of time because they be so good with the info. Our special guests are always come
Yes.
on. So, you ready to jump in,
All
queen?
right. All right. Yes, Queen. I'm ready. I'm ready. Let's go. All right. Well, good morning, everyone. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to Tips and Tea Live. We are so happy that you are here with us this morning. And before we get started, please take a time or take a moment to go ahead and just like the live, share the live with a family member or a friend, someone you think this could benefit. And also drop your city and your state in the chat because we love to know where you're tuning in from. And don't forget to follow our pages so you never miss an episode. And if you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel, you definitely want to check it out, Tips and Tea Live on YouTube. Your support definitely helps us and continue to help continue to bring you value and conversations. Okay. So make sure you go ahead and like, share, and let's get going. So, good morning, everyone. Welcome in. Welcome in. I'm Satitra Booker, and I'm here with my wonderful and amazing co host, Shantella Shabazz. And we just want to welcome you to Tips and Tea Live, where we bring you conversations designed to help you grow financially, personally, and professionally, and physically, and spiritually. spiritually too. And before we get into today's topic, let's just take a time to look back at last week's episode. Shantella, would you mind to give us a quick recap?
Absolutely. And Grand Rises again, Queens and Kings. Kier, I just saw you jump on the live, and safe travels to you, Michelle. I see that you're headed out to New York, girl. Bring me back some cheesecake. I'm just saying. Just
Ooh, cheesecake.
I'm ready.
Safe travels to you,
I
Queen.
need to get my big back energy in order here. We're gonna get it together. But if you did not get a chance, last week we talked about, because we're doing like this whole summer series. We're talking about finances, we're talking about health, we're talking about wealth, and we're definitely talking about how to make sure our faith is staying locked in while we're going through all these different ventures. So last week we talked about being mortgage ready in 2026. You know, what home buyers need to do before they apply. You know, we shared several important tips for future homeowners, including reviewing your credit report, improving your credit profile, also paying down some debt, right? That's going to help you improve your debt to income ratio. I had my cousin come on, Brian Sewell with Guild Mortgage, who has so many great tools and products that can help you become mortgage ready. You know, the key is just taking that step and finding out, okay, can I actually get qualified now? Because you keep wondering about it, you might be looking at your scores and self eliminating yourself, because they actually have programs where you can get qualified for a mortgage with as low as a 500 credit score, right? So we want to make sure that we have the right information so that we can make the right moves, but also making sure while you're doing this process of getting mortgage ready that we're avoiding any unnecessary inquiries and major purchases. Because look, we get ready to buy a house. Don't be over there running up and buying a bunch of furniture and new cars, putting the vacation on the afterpay. Do you want the house or do you want to take the trip? You got to kind of make some choices. So we want to make sure you're also
Right.
building a savings plan for down payments and creating a plan long term before you just run through the application process and kind of eliminate yourself. So just know home ownership definitely begins long before you submit an application. Sometimes preparation can create opportunities for tomorrow. So if you missed last week's live, definitely feel free to catch the replay. If you go to our YouTube channel at Tips and Tea Live, you can definitely watch what we were talking about last week. Brian brought a lot of gems and just helped me to think about things a little bit differently as well.
Yes, ma'am. I can definitely understand that. It's good to think about things and, get that information about the mortgage and things. Well, Shantella, thank you so much for that wonderful recap. And today's topic we're going to get into, I know many of you can relate to. Many of us have faced moments in life where we weren't sure about things, or sometimes you're going through something and you just think like, oh my gosh, I'm not going to get through this, like a financial setback, health challenges, the loss of a loved one, difficult relationships, depression, anxiety, business struggles, disappointments that left you questioning. And in like what is moment, sometimes it can feel just going to take us out and there's, no end. But guess what? We're still here. We're still standing. We're still growing. We're still believing. We're still putting our best foot forward. And which brings us to today's topic. Did you die? So I know sometimes that might sound a little funny, and trust me, it's about to make sense to you here in a few minutes, okay? But before we start, we're going to have a little opening prayer. So, Heavenly Father, we thank you for allowing us together this morning, together again once more. And thank you for every challenge that you have brought us through and every lesson that you have taught us along the way. Remind us that setbacks are not the end of our story and that our struggles do not define us. Give us the strength, the discipline, wisdom, perseverance, and the faith as we continue moving forward in every area of our lives. And Lord, we just ask that you bless today's conversation and everyone watching. So many of us want to be encouraged and inspired and remind us
Amen.
that, sometimes in life we are definitely stronger than we think. So in Jesus' name, amen. Thank you, Lord. We
Amen.
definitely appreciate. We got to put God first. We got to put God first. But today we are going to have a special guest, and she is someone that I've had the pleasure of having contact with, and she inspires me. And her name is Dominique Thomas. Dominique is a nationally certified personal trainer through the NFPT, a nationally certified nutrition coach through NASM, a wellness coach, an author, motivational speaker, and she has committed to walking in her purpose to move, encourage, and inspire women and master the skill of living a naturally healthy lifestyle. Dominique is a graduate of the California State University, Fullerton, with a bachelor's degree in kinesiology. I hope I'm saying that correctly, and a focus on health and fitness promotion with over 14 years of experience in health and fitness. She has served as a wellness educator, a life coach, assistant track and field coach, and a personal group trainer for both private and public organizations. The vision of Well and Fit Coaching is to help each client achieve their own plan for optimal health from inside out through fitness, nutrition, and mental and emotional wellness. She empowers clients to create a sustainable lifestyle, challenges, and that live their best lives. So, everyone, let's please welcome my personal trainer, Miss Dominique Thomas.
Good
Hey, welcome, Queen.
morning.
Welcome,
Thank
welcome.
you. Present, I'm here.
Good morning. Good morning. Welcome,
Hi, ladies.
Dominique.
Good morning. You guys are so
Well,
cute.
Dominique, thank you so much for taking time to join us this morning. And first, we just like to just have you to tell us a little bit about why you started doing what you do, Queen.
Yeah, so I have been moving my entire life since I was 4. I started running track and field at the age of 4 and all the way through college. So I've been moving, I would say, like my whole life. So when I went to school for kinesiology, it's kinesiology. You cracked me up when you said it, but it definitely was something that I knew I wanted to do. I wanted to go into something with it's a study of human movement. So movement is very powerful. So that was the reason why I started doing what I was doing, because I saw how movement would like shift rooms, how it gives people energy, how it just changes the atmosphere. So that's a little bit of the reason why I started doing what I do.
Mm,
Awesome, awesome.
well, definitely love that. And welcome to Tips and Tea. We're definitely excited that you're here and you're going to get us in order because I know you heard me over here talking about cheesecake and doing my Chicago Food City tour. So after I get back home and get myself back and decompress from all the citywide food touring that I'm doing, I'm gonna need some of these tips that you're gonna drop on this live today. So we appreciate you for showing up for us today.
Of course. And I'm thinking like Cece's my client. She's talking about, well, yeah, I want I was like, wait a minute now. You're not going on no city tour right now. We got goals.
No. I said I'm still coming. Now, I didn't say when, Dominique. I didn't say
Okay.
when.
I'm looking at you
I
like
just future. We got goals to reach for
we
August. You
got
know what I'm saying?
goals. Right. We're not going on no foodie tour yet. I love it.
No. But definitely, like, before we get into all the serious questions and everything, like, but serious, like, how many times have you looked at me at the end of a session and asked me, but did you die?
But did you
Where
die?
exactly did that phrase come from, Dominique?
So it's a common thing like in the fitness industry, but I really just started saying it, and now after every session, after every group class session, I say it now. But it really comes from like people have these thoughts about exercise, like you're gonna die when you do it. Is it going to be uncomfortable? Yes, it is. Is it going to be painful sometimes? Yes, it is. But did you die? No, you didn't. You're okay, and you will live to do another workout. So that's where it comes from.
Ooh, we're
Yes,
gonna
I
live to
love
see it
it.
happen.
Yeah, because sometimes we self sabotage and we want to psych
Mhm.
ourselves out thinking we can't do something and we didn't really try.
Right.
Yeah, so hey, Look, I'm gonna start whispering that to myself every time I think about opening that refrigerator. This is gonna cause you to die. Go over there and work out, girl, because that's not gonna make you die. That's actually gonna make you stronger. So did you die? After this workout? I
Love
might
that
have
for
did
your
I
life
might have did
already.
a little bit. A little bit. But the way that
Close.
body is gonna be bodying, I can't even be mad. I can't even be
Yes.
mad.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Well, let's jump into it. So, what is one of
Yes.
the biggest mental obstacles you see women face when they're starting this fitness journey? Because, like me, sometimes I open that refrigerator. We have one of our wellness partners that's a part of our prayer group, and
Mm-hmm.
she tells us about all the processed foods and all the bad things. So now she has it. She has me brainwashed, Dominique. So when I go to the refrigerator, sometimes I open it and I look at some of the food. I'm like, what would Sherry Landrum do? Right? What would Sherry do? Because I can hear her in the back of my head. Don't eat that, Chantel. It's not good for you. So what are some of the mental obstacles that you see? Because you work with so many different women that we're facing when we're just trying to get started in this journey.
I love that she's already brainwashing you, because that is my hope for all of
Yeah,
my clients, that they hear me
absolutely.
in the back of their head whenever they're trying to do something they're not supposed to do. But the biggest obstacle that I face is actually getting people to change their mindset on exercise and eating. It's very hard. The culture that we live in America, we want it and we want it fast. And
Yeah.
my whole
Mm-hmm.
thing is, like, CC had explained, I want to move and encourage and inspire women to live a naturally healthy life. And to live a naturally healthy life, you have to do it over time. It can't just be, a month and you're like, oh yeah, let's just do it. So it's really hard to get women to change their mindsets on, hey, like, if you do this the right way, if you do it, take the longer path, it's going to lead to long-term results. You'll create it, it'll turn into a lifestyle. So that's the hardest part about the industry that I'm in.
No,
Mm.
that's so true. That's so true. You got to build the habit, and that kind of
Yeah.
leads to a lot of different things in our life.
Yeah.
Make it so it becomes second nature.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. I
Yeah.
see over there processing. She about to come in with it.
Because
No,
it's
I was just
true.
thinking, hey, because I always say, guys, I'm a work in progress. But, it took me a few sessions to get into the mode where I'm like, okay, let's go, let's go. You know what I mean? You have
Yeah.
to you have to push through those times when, you really don't want to do it. Cause there's some mornings I'll be like, I don't want to get up, but I got to, I really got to. So like in situations like that, Dominique, if you have someone that's, in their mind, they're wanting to give up before their body actually is giving up. It's not a physical issue, it's just a
Hmm.
mental thing. Like, what kind of motivation would you, or what would you say could inspire somebody that's doing that, just like not even trying?
I think
Just their mind is giving up before their body.
it's, for me, the approach that I take is you have to meet a person exactly where they're at. I've never been a type of trainer where I'm like a drill sergeant. Never, never that. I recognize that one of my gifts is encouragement. So there's some clients that I have, like, they take off running. They go, they're doing everything they're supposed to do. And maybe it's motivated by a goal. And that always helps too. Like, if it's like you have a wedding coming up or you have vacation coming up, that's always good motivators too. But if you can find something that motivates you, that's more intrinsic, where, maybe it's like you want to see your grandchildren, you want to, help raise them, or you want to improve your health or whatever, if it's something more intrinsic, then it's more
Mhm.
likelihood that you'll do it for the lifestyle. But I think it's important to meet people where they're at. Some people, like I said, hit the ground running, and then some people, you need to hold their hand and hug them, and that's okay. I'm very patient, and at the end of the day, I know I'm gonna show up. I'm gonna stand 10 toes down. I'm gonna be there when I'm supposed to be there,
Right.
unless like I'm sick or my children are sick. That's another thing. But I'm gonna always be there for you guys. And that, I think that is part of the motivation and accountability, where you guys like, well, I know Dominique gonna be
Mhm.
up at 6 a.m. in the morning, ready to go. So let me go ahead and get my butt up, and let me get on this camera so I can do what I'm supposed to do.
I hear that. We all need that
Yes,
accountability
yes.
partner because I'm telling you, my bed literally be holding me hostage. I feel like the sheets become like my captors and it just be like, no, where you going? It's warm here. It's soft here. Why are you trying to leave?
Yes,
And it be
yes.
hard. It be talking to me, and I probably need some other type of counseling if my bed talking to me. But we gonna get back to it.
I
We
can
gonna get back
relate.
to
I ain't gonna hold you. I
Yeah.
can relate because people think
Yes,
I like to get
yes.
up at 5 a.m. Chandra, I do not like getting up at 5 a.m., but I will do it for y'all. And that's it. That's all I have to say on
I hear that.
that.
Well, I love what you
Well,
said
we
about
definitely
how
appreciate you, Queen.
yeah, how you show up for people because that's what we need. We need people to show up for us. And it's kind of like you're
Mhm.
also life coaching at the same time with the
Yeah.
encouragement, with understanding people in general and where they need to be because goals are really great, right? And it helps give us that drive. But what happens after you hit the goal? Where do we
Yeah.
go from here? Now you built up the habit. Do we stop here or does now it become a habit? So, sometimes we have these short term goals like the vacation or the wedding. But like you mentioned, what's the long
Mhm.
term goal? Do you want to be
Hmm.
able at 70 to be able to keep up with the grandkids, right? Your
Yeah.
great grandkids, right? Be able to go to,
Yes.
girl, because if you're going to Disney, I'm going to put it out here now. Y'all got to be,
Yes.
Disney ain't no joke. I lost
It's
15
not.
pounds going to Disney World, and I wasn't even trying. Okay, and we ate good, but we was walking
Yes.
You walk.
everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah.
You gonna walk a couple miles at Disney for sure.
And they only got so many of them carts now with electric motors. There was one time they ran out. We had to push
Oh.
somebody in that wheelchair, and I wasn't prepared for that
Ooh,
workout. So please don't do that to your grandbabies where they're
sister,
gonna have to be pushing you
please.
around in the manual wheelchair. We ain't got there yet in AI where it is we just floating around like the Jetsons. So go ahead, call Dominique. Let's do this workout.
Right, right.
But that's
Goodness
good. That's good,
gracious.
Queen. Thank you so much for just letting us know that you can help them with the encouragement and be the accountability partner that they may need. So you know, kind of jumping into that because sometimes we know people become very discouraged when they don't see immediate
Yes.
results, right?
Yes.
How do you help them stay committed when the results are just not showing up yet?
Yeah. That's always hard because I did have a client that nothing was happening to her. We were
Mm-hmm.
doing all the workouts. She was eating relatively healthy. The problem was hormones. So she ended up having to go to her doctor because that one is out of my control. So she ended up going to her doctor and she ended up starting like hormone therapy and getting on the things that she needed. And then she started seeing results. So that's really hard when people are not seeing results. But what I take the approach is because we're so centered around weight loss, weight loss, weight loss, what are the
Mm,
other factors that are maybe you're feeling better? You have more energy. Maybe you're sleeping better. Maybe it's
Mm-hmm.
not a matter of so much like weight loss, because if you're gaining muscle and you're losing fat simultaneously, the scale doesn't really change that much because muscle weighs more than fat. So it's like, are
true.
your clothes fitting better? Like it's just different things that I try to not focus on besides weight loss, where you're like, well, maybe I do have more energy throughout the day, and hey, I am sleeping a
Mhm.
little bit better. So those are the things. Or maybe you're managing your stress. I'm telling you, exercise helps keeps me from not slapping people every single day. So
Yeah.
maybe maybe that's what it is. So I try to pull from things outside of normal, like weight loss measurements and things like that, because all of those things do matter too, and they're all very much connected.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
What would you say, Dominique, are some life lessons that maybe that fitness has taught you? Maybe about like because like you mentioned, or the question was about being discouraged and things like that. So, what would some life lessons be that you could say that over your time throughout your fitness career that you have gained?
I think for me personally, um, exercise is one of those things. Of course, it's like physical. I want to
Hmm.
look good in my clothes, like all that type of stuff. I'm all for that. But when I tell people all the time, like exercise has literally saved my life. It has saved my life, and not in the aspect of I have a chronic well, I do have a chronic condition, but we can get to that later. But it's more of the mental and emotional aspect of it.
Mhm.
Long story short, when I went through my divorce, I started with movement. Over my years, I have different tools in my toolbox. And when
Uh-huh.
everything happened, and it happened in a very messy and dramatic way, I was like, what can you do to help you? I can move. So I always give that advice to people. I'm like, you can move, whether even if you're unable, you have, some type of an ailment or disability or whatever, you can walk. If you can't walk, you can do something in your chair. You can move your body. Movement is extremely powerful. So that's where I started personally. I was like, I'm just going to walk. I didn't know what was going to come out of it, but I knew God was telling me, like, you just need to move your body. And that's one of the lessons that I take with me even now when I'm going through something or I'm stressed or whatever it is. I tell my kids the same thing. I'm like, let's get out and move. Let's do some movement. So that's the biggest thing that I've learned through my, personal health and fitness journey is
Mhm.
like whenever I'm going through something mentally and emotionally, I'm going to move. Exercise literally has saved my life, you guys.
Yes.
Gotcha. I mean, well, thank you for sharing that with us, Queen. I have heard people say that exercise is a good stress reliever, but that does make sense. If you're going through something or, dealing with something, that might be a good positive way to either take your frustrations out or just channel that energy into something more positive that's going to benefit you. So it's
Yes.
almost kind of, teaching you perseverance and resilience, you
Hmm.
know. I can
Yeah.
definitely see that.
Absolutely. That stagnant mind sometimes can take over, and then it'll have you
Yeah.
thinking that depression is okay and that you
Mm.
can just mope around and then you become sick and other things start going wrong. So it's good to just get outside, like you said, Dominique, and just move around, get in nature, breathe some fresh air. Sometimes we get cabin fever.
True.
Yeah, your
Yeah.
mind playing tricks
Yeah.
on you. So just, God gave us the ability to choose. He gave us dominion over this earth. And he also said he wants us to be active. He wants us to work, right? Because
Yeah.
he know what sitting still too long can do to somebody. So
Sure.
yeah, you're right. So y'all heard that. What she say? Get up and move your body.
Move.
Move.
Don't be sitting
Move
still for too
around.
long.
Yes.
We got some comments from the chat. Oh, they threw it back to the hormones that you
Yes. Them hormones. Yes, honey.
Have you?
Got to get them things under control. Goodness
Hmm.
gracious.
Yeah, so that was definitely some good advice, Dominique. If you are seeing that you are working out and you are on a good meal plan, you've kind of cut out the alcohol and other things like that, and you don't see any progress, it might be, a hormone imbalance, especially if you're kind of 35 and up. We be having some things happening with us, that start kicking in around that time. Sometimes it comes a little
Yes.
earlier. So it might
Yeah.
happen a little early for you as well. So there definitely set up an appointment with your doctor to see if that's something that you have going on. I've been on my black girl vitamins. They've been
Mm.
working pretty good for
Hey.
me.
Good.
Yes, yes,
Just
yes.
check them
Those are
out.
some good
We need a
vitamins.
we need a sponsorship. See, drop.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yes, I know
I speak
that's
that into
right. Let's get a
existence. Get you some
sponsorship.
sponsorship from Black Girl Vitamins.
I
Throw
know
throw that
that's
out there
right,
in the
girl.
universe.
Let's go.
Throw that
Let's
out in the
go.
universe. But I just want to remind our audience here, if you all have any questions for Dominique, please feel free to start dropping them in the chat. That way we can
Yes.
make sure she connects with your questions before we run out of time here. Because this hour be going by real fast. We started
Yes.
this to, kind of be at a 30-40 minute mark, and we literally be going for an hour 5, because the conversations just get so
Yes.
good. But
They
um
do.
they definitely do. They definitely do. So I
We'll
also
have to
wanted to
drop
ask you,
Dominique information in the chat too.
so you can all
Okay.
can definitely connect with her directly. But I wanted
Hmm.
to ask you, Dominic, because you kind of mentioned there as well that you know people be facing season in their lives and depression, and you've gone through some things yourself that was very challenging. You had to remind yourself just to get out there and move. You know,
Hmm.
when you face that season in your own life, how did you practice what you teach to your clients? outside of just that piece, was there any other things that you did to kind of help, with being a parent, with being,
Mhm.
a business owner, with also just trying to find that balance? Because I don't think there's a such thing as balance. We just kind of like
Gotta make it
balance.
happen.
What's that? It depends on the
Right.
season, but facing that season that you had in your life, how did you still push through and show, practice what you preached?
Yeah, it definitely was hard because I was diagnosed with mild depression and then high anxiety during that time. Thank God he delivered me from it. The depression I don't deal with. The anxiety every now comes and goes, right? Um,
Mm-hmm.
but I can't say that it was all me because it was not. So I definitely number one was God. Honestly, it was I've seen women, they go through divorce. You can go all the way left, you can go the petty baby mama route, or you can go the other way. And so I chose the
Mhm.
other way with God. So definitely God was number one. And then initially I knew I needed to get into therapy. I was like, I'm not gonna be able to do this all by myself and trying to figure this all by myself. And even though I have a good support system with like my mom, my dad, my sisters, and also my best friend, it's good to have someone that has nothing to do with it, to talk to someone that has, that professionally can help you put those extra
Mhm.
tools in your toolbox to help you,
Mm-hmm.
cope through certain things and get through certain things. So I definitely got into therapy. I was going like once a week, and then I eventually tapered off to like every 2 weeks, and then once a month and all that type of stuff. So I definitely got into therapy. And then for myself personally, like I said, I started walking, number one. Then I started journaling. I used to journal all the time when I was a kid and a teenager and all that type of stuff. But about, he looks so cute today and blah blah blah. But I was like, I need to start journaling. That was something I had gotten away from. And so I started journaling again. So that was something that helped me as well too. But the biggest thing I would say, I kept telling myself, just do the bare minimum, right? And I tell this to women all the time when they're going through something, because I've encountered all kind of clients, all going through all kind of things. I'm like, just make sure you're taking care of the bare minimum, which is make sure you're eating, make sure you're moving your body in some type of way, eating and drinking water, right? Make sure you're moving your body in some type of way, and make sure you're sleeping. And if you need to get aid in sleeping, there's no shame
Mhm.
in that, because there was a point where my anxiety was so high, I had to get on anxiety medication just to bring myself down, just to sleep. There's no shame in getting, the Western help, medication help. But now if I'm ever feeling like that, magnesium is my best friend. Magnesium and melatonin. But like though that's the biggest thing for me. Take care of the bare minimum, the things that you can control, and that will help you get through as well.
That is, those are some very valid points. And, as we age and we get older, something that we don't take into account is we really need to start valuing our rest.
Hmm.
Because when you're in your 20s and 30s, it's that I'm team no sleep. I'm going hard. I'm working, doing what I have to do. But your body needs to rest and restore so it can heal. We
Yes,
need to make sure that we are taking time and getting our rest. Whether you're young or old, rest is restorative.
it is.
And Dominic, what would you say, or what advice would you give to someone that feels like maybe it's too late in their life, either because of age or maybe either age or their physical capacity?
Hmm.
They feel like it's too late for them to start a fitness journey. What kind of advice would you give someone like that?
Yeah, never. First and foremost, I would tell them it's never too late.
Mhm,
Honestly, the older we get, the more exercise becomes important.
mhm.
Because, and it's cliche, but it's true, if you don't move it, you're going to lose it. The elasticity comes down in our bodies. What was I going to say? Your body just starts to, the collagen, we're not as soft as we used to, like all these type of things, right? They start
Mhm.
to they start to leave our bodies. and exercise helps counterbalance that, especially us as women of a certain age, because I'm 40. So 40 and up, exercise is going to be your best friend, especially weight training. It's going to resist some type of resistance training is going to be your best friend. Not only is it going to help build your muscles, it's going to help keep your bones strong. It's going to help regulate your hormones as well too. And I'm burning fat right now as we sit just because I lift weights. So I think it becomes even more important as we get older, and also that risk of like falling and your grip and all those type of things. I have a client that she's 70, and that's one of our focuses is for her to maintain her strength so she's not falling and doing those type of things. So to answer your question, it's never too late to start an exercise regimen or a health and wellness regimen. Why? Because as we get older, those things become even more important as we get older.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Never too late to
That's very
start.
true. Yes, and we have some comments from the audience here. Michelle said her body was craving candy for a few months and finally was able to remove candy from her diet, but now she noticed her body is craving other carbs like chips, dried fruit, bread, and she's tired of it.
Tired
Ooh,
of it.
I'm
I
right
don't
there
want it
with you,
no more.
Queen. I love the carbs. It's hard. It's hard to let them go. Gosh, it's hard.
Well, that
You
is
know,
what. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was just gonna say too, I noticed that when I'm craving certain things, it's because I'm lacking certain nutrients
Mm-hmm.
in my diet, right? So like when I'm craving something salty or things like that, it might be because I'm dehydrated. And this
Mm-hmm.
could be, listen, everybody, it's different for everybody, right? You can't just
Right.
take this information and just cover yourself with it, but you have to kind of know what you personally might be missing in your diet and what's
Right.
going on with your personal health. But for me, I do notice that when I'm feeling like that and I'm craving like those salty type of carb type of things, is because for one, I probably wasn't getting enough sleep. I was
Mm-hmm.
dehydrated because I could be drinking a lot of water, but I'm not getting the electrolytes, right? So you can be drinking water, but not getting the electrolytes that you need to kind of replenish your body. So dehydrated, wasn't getting enough sleep. Also that magnesium. I will
Mm-hmm.
also say when I started taking magnesium with the K2, that helped me as well with the vitamin C. So just getting on a proper vitamin and changing what I was consuming that had those nutrient rich foods that contain those things kind of help with that as well too. And going to bed earlier because I tell y'all 11 o'clock. Sometimes I'm not gonna be up. I'm not all for the vampire hour. I'm in the bed
Not
because
the
right now
vampire
me.
hours,
The
Queen.
No, I don't
vampire
do
hour. I
vampire
like
hour. I'm
that.
not up
I'm
at
start
12,
using
1 in the
that.
morning because we up at 5 a.m. So no, doesn't work for me. But I'm gonna let Dominique run this and tell you
No,
what her thoughts is on it.
a lot of the things that you were saying makes complete sense, and it's some of the things that
Yeah.
I tell people. I'm never a fan of cutting everything out
Mm-hmm.
unless your doctor has prescribed that. Like if you have a heart condition, if you have diabetes, if you have those type of things, then please follow the instructions of your doctor or your nutritionist or whoever you're working with. Please do that. But in general, right, cutting out the sweets is not, you don't have to do that, especially if you're eating relatively healthy. Everything, I live by three principles when it comes to nutrition: everything in moderation, do not eat to be full, and control your portion sizes. Those three things is going to save you every single time. So it's not necessarily that you need to cut out sweets, because like you said, when you cut out something, your body's going to start naturally craving those things. But
Mm-hmm.
also on the other side of that, the more you start eating healthy, the more your body starts craving healthy things. So
That part.
if you want sweets, which is fine, you just start finding alternatives. Like my favorite thing, right? I still love me a good Snickers, y'all. I ain't gonna hold you. Like I like Snickers and peanut M&Ms. But instead of like, and I'm like a sucker for cake and cupcakes. But
Mm-hmm.
instead of eating that all the time, right? I love like a dark chocolate covered blueberry. You get those things, you could put them in your freezer, you can whatever, you like, you pop like 4 or 5 of them in your mouth, it will curve your sweet craving. So you have
Mm-hmm.
to just start shifting your mind. Another good one is Greek yogurt with like the berries, the
Mhm.
strawberries, especially strawberries are in season right now, you guys. They're sweet. So strawberries, drizzle some
Mhm.
honey over it, that will curb your sweet tooth.
Yeah.
So you have to start thinking of just healthier ways to curb that sweet craving. And then when it comes to carbs, carbs are not the devil, you guys. We actually need carbs to actually exercise. Healthy carbs. We need
Mhm.
them to actually exercise. Long story short, I want to get all scientific. Long story short, our muscles run off of glycogen, which is just sugar, you guys. So, and that is what we draw from first when we exercise. It goes sugar, it goes fat, and then it goes muscle, which you never want to be eating your muscle, ever that. So,
Mhm.
you deplete those things when you exercise or when you just do daily activities. You draw from sugars to use your muscles. So that's why you need carbohydrates, because carbohydrates are going to replenish what you lost. And so you need those healthy carbs to do those type of things. So don't cut out carbs completely, Michelle. And I love that your name is Michelle. That's my middle name, by the way, Michelle.
Let's
Thank
go.
you.
Thank
You
you. Thank
all, please drop some gems in the chat because she just came in. I was like, look, you don't have to completely eliminate these things because then
Right.
we eliminate them. What do? We
Binge eat.
overkill. We
Yep. And then we
overeat.
end
We
up binge
binge
eating.
eat. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, healthy balances. We don't want to be gluttonous about the things that we're doing, but you can
Yeah.
still do them in a healthy way. She also asks about, would you say that she needs hormone therapy? Um, I'll kind of let you kind of direct her in the right direction.
Yeah, that's not something that I can answer personally. The first step is if you're recognizing your body is kind of out of whack, and especially like we were saying, if you're exercising and you're eating relatively well and then you're not seeing any results, then that's usually I see that red flag and I'm like, go see your doctor, talk to your doctor. Um, and then ask them whatever questions you have about hormone therapy, because there's a lot of different things out there, and you have to like we have been saying, it's not one size fits all. So you have to speak with your doctor, come up with a plan that works for you, because there's so many things out there. There's, you can take the pills, there's hormone, there's injections, there's topical testosterone treatments. There's a lot of things out there when it comes to hormone therapy. So you really want to talk to a physician and find out what your plan's going to be and what's best for your body.
Absolutely. And if your
Mhm.
doctor that you're currently seeing, everybody, it's important to know, like, if they're just like, oh, no, it's just normal, it's just age, you're aging, get another doctor.
Absolutely.
Go see another doctor
Absolutely.
because that is not the overall be all answer for everything. Get you a doctor that's going to, if you feel like something is off in your body, something is not
Mhm.
right, you know what you have to deal with on a daily basis. So if this doctor is not helping you, sometimes we have to pivot and we have to go find a resource that's going to help us. There are
Yeah.
answers out there. There is help out there. You do not have to continue with this person that just can't help you. They just can't do it. It's beyond their scope of what they do, and that's okay. It's okay to go find someone else that can get you the help that you need. So thank you, Dominique, for
Of
recommending that
course. Of
because, and
course.
don't go to Chat GPT and ask them what vitamins
Don't do
you
it.
should be on. Don't do that.
No, no,
It can
no,
make
no.
suggestions, but you still need to
Yeah,
go to your doctor, okay?
you
Go to
do.
your doctor.
Absolutely.
And don't, if your doctor is telling you something, don't be scared to get a second opinion either. Sometimes we
Absolutely.
have to be our own advocate. You know what I mean? So don't leave that part out too, guys.
I
Get a second
actually
opinion if you need
I
to.
actually have partnered with she's a nurse practitioner, but she
Mhm.
specializes, and she's a Black woman. So if you guys want her resource, let me know.
That's
Um
okay.
her name is Crystal Parker, and she may be someone you guys can bring on the show too. So her name is Crystal Parker. She was one of my clients, right? She was one of my clients.
Okay.
And then we ended up partnering together. We did all kind of webinars and seminars and all type of stuff on hormones and, pairing it with exercise and stuff like that. But she's very knowledgeable about hormones, hormone therapy. She'll break it down to you, and there's like 30 plus symptoms
Mhm.
of perimenopause and menopause. So it's like you could be thinking you're just tired, but no, it could be your hormones. You could be thinking, you're going through whatever it is, and it's your hormones. So I'll give her I'll give her information to you as well, CC. That way you guys can plug in with her, because she would be a very, very good resource for you guys as
Okay,
well.
great.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I love that. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you. We definitely appreciate it because
Mhm.
it's always good to get all the information you can, because so many times, you go into different doctors and they have you on different medications, and you may be battling the side effect of a medication and not know it. So
Yeah.
sometimes just having healthier alternatives, or knowing, you know, just basically knowing is half the battle. Just knowing that there's
Mhm.
other options and alternatives out there makes a big difference, and can make sometimes a big change in somebody's health.
Yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, we
Yes.
definitely need that information. And, I just want to kind of jump into our audience here and just, you probably all wondering, okay, what is Tips and Tea on here doing talking about physical health? And, did you die? What is this? But it's all one thing, everyone. So we wanted to bring someone to the forefront that's going to help us get our physical in shape, because it
Mhm.
also has to do with your mind, your mindset, right? When
Yes.
we build up better physical habits, that also relates to what you're doing in your finances, in your
Mhm.
personal life, in your business. Because if one thing is plaguing you, right, and it's drawing all your attention, it starts to have a domino effect, right?
Mhm.
Where now your business starts to suffer. Now your family is suffering because you don't have the energy to be able to help your family or just be present for them because you're so worried about what's going on with your health. So all these things interrelate. So it's
Mhm.
important that we're working on all these when it comes to our physical health, our spiritual health, our mental health, our emotional health, all these things tie together. So I also wanted to ask Miss Dominique as well because she's a business owner. She's
Yeah.
running her own fitness brand. So I wanted to jump in some questions because we have to bring up the finances here on Tips and Tea. But as a woman and a minority business owner, Miss Dominique, what unique challenges have you faced in this wellness industry that you're in?
Yeah, it's well, two things. Being a Black woman in the fitness industry, and I can't even say across the country, just the bubble that I'm in over here in Fontana, California, I recognize I'm a unicorn.
Mm-hmm.
It's the fitness industry is dominated by males, and not saying that there aren't women trainers or whatever like that. There are, but Black women trainers that have like the experience and the background that I have, it's rare. So I'm always fighting that battle, especially even the gym that I work out, that I do the evening classes with. I remember the first time I walked in there, one of the members like, "Oh," and she was Black too, by the way, precursor. She was like, "Oh, they got a Black girl teacher in class today." I was like, "Oh, excuse me," but I deal with a lot of the stereotypes that come with it, because I do play also like hip hop music, and I play R&B music when we work out and stuff like that. And I've gotten like pushback from like higher ups, and they're like, "Well, just be careful with your music because it's suggestive and this, that, and the other." And I'm like, well, other music is suggestive too. It's not just hip hop. But part of the reason my classes are packed, because they're always like, "I love your playlist, da 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 da." I'm like, hip hop is the number one genre in the world for a reason, because people like it.
Mhm.
So I could just
Right.
continue to do what I do. And honestly, I always tell myself, I pray over the room when I go in there. I make
Mm-hmm.
sure, that I'm like, God bless this room, let nothing happen, and let them have a good time, like all those types of things. So that would be number one. And then number two, as a business owner, the fitness industry goes through seasons. So at the top of the year is like everybody's like, yes, let's go, let's do it, blah, blah. That is usually when I get the most clients into my business, right? And usually they stay with me throughout the year. On average, a person stays with me from about 6 to like 12 months. So they'll stay with you throughout the year. But people come and go, they leave. I do require like a 3 month contract of all of my packages, but people come and go, and you experience this influx. And then I always know it's going to come down. People are going to leave. They're going to go on vacation. They're going to do whatever they do. Then it's going to go back up again during the summertime, because everybody wants that summer bod, right? And
Mm-hmm.
so it goes up again, and then it comes back down again. And then in the wintertime, it's Christmas, it's holidays, it's all kind of stuff. I barely get any clients. So the biggest challenge for me is that influx in the fitness industry. And because I'm an entrepreneur, planning my finances out the right way, because I know that influx is going to happen. So for me, the biggest challenge would be that, and retention. Like I'm really big on like providing a good service, being there for my clients, because I would like them to retain through the entire year so I don't keep having an influx of when it comes to my finances.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. I like that a lot. What's a business tool do you find yourself that you can't live without when it comes to running your business?
I honestly, I can't live without, well, a couple things. I can't live without Excel because
Hmm.
I train so many people. I need to just clearly see like start dates. I have a whole Excel sheet. Start date, end date, makeup sessions, how much they're paying per month, like all those type of things. It helps me just organize my brain. So I need Microsoft Excel. Um, I need Chat GPT these days. I ain't even gonna hold you. I ended up paying for the higher
ChatGPT.
Chat GPT. I was trying not to pay for the higher one, but it's become more, the more I use it, the more it sounds like me. And
Mm-hmm.
even though I've written books by myself before all this AI can come along came along, it's just nice to have someone, you go in there and you're like, can you refine this for me? Can you just fine tune this for me? And even like as of lately, I just revamped like my contract as well too, because you just need to update those things every now and then. So I update some things and I put it in Chat GPT and I was like, hey, can you just read through this, make sure and then it gives you suggestions and things like that. Um,
Hmm.
so that's a good thing. And the last thing I would say is there's this platform called Club Connect where I do continuing education credits. The
Okay.
fitness industry is constantly changing. New things are coming out, things that I didn't know about, and I take these courses, throughout the year. I take these courses. Not only do they help me keep all of my certifications, but they also help me just remain knowledgeable when it comes to fitness. So I think those are the three biggest things right now that I just cannot sacrifice when it comes to my business and me as a professional.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, you mentioned some really great things. Staying organized, using your Excel sheet to make sure
Mhm.
you're keeping track
Mm-hmm.
of everything that's going on because it helps you create that balance that you need and to understand where your clients are at in their journey. And then using ChatGPT as a tool. Y'all, AI is not the devil, right?
It's
Just
not.
No.
like just
No.
like money is not the devil. They say money is the riddle. I'll even know it's not. It depends on how you use it. Money is a tool, just like AI is a tool. So if you use it the
Yeah.
right way, then it can help buy you back your time. It can help create more space where you can be more
Yes.
creative and be personable and be an encourager like Dominique, where she's needed, where her gifts shine. So when you're using chat to replace yourself, that's when it becomes a problem, right? You
Yes.
use it to enhance, not replace. You use it for the tool that it is. And then also continue to educate yourself because we're always students. We should always be learning and growing because life continues to change. So thank
Yeah.
you, Dominique, again for coming in and just helping us to see not only physically what we need to be doing to get our lives together and to kind of tone down my big back energy, but also as a business owner.
Not the
As a
big
business owner, you know,
Love it. I love it.
Oh,
you
well,
know,
definitely.
it's all relatable, everyone.
Yes.
This life that we're in as
It all just together.
entrepreneurs, it might look a little different because of the type of the industry that we're in, but we're all the same. We're all trying to
Yeah.
grow and create a business that we can continue to help people with and to help our family. So
Yeah.
you got to do the work. You got to
Yeah,
do the work.
You do.
Well, I know
definitely.
we're coming to the top of the hour. See, you got anything you
Yes.
want to add?
Oh, well, I just want to first of all just, again, thank you, Dominique, for giving us some time. And y'all drop some flowers in chat, excuse me,
Thank
some
you.
flowers and hearts and trophies in the chat for Dominique because Dominique is on Pacific Standard Time. So it is 6 a.m. for
It
her.
is.
Yes. Yes. So give her her flowers because she got up to share this information with us. So we definitely appreciate you, Queen. I definitely appreciate your time. And just want to just give you your flowers because you always show up and you are so energetic and you are very positive. We definitely need to share your information. So if anybody is interested, Dominique has some things going on. She got some packages. If you want to get hooked up with her, we can share her information. Just get with me and I can get that information to you. And, just before we close, Dominique, just quickly, what are three simple things that someone can start today to improve their overall health? Just to leave the audience with that.
Oh, yes. So if you're not moving, let's get moving, right? And the easiest thing for you, if I'm breaking it down into the simplest thing when it comes to fitness, walking. I always tell people to walk for 1 minute fast, walk for 1 minute slow. That's it. For like 20 to 30 minutes. You could do that on the treadmill. You could do that around the house. You could go, of course, get outside, please. That would be the best, thing to do because you're propelling yourself forward. But walk 1 minute fast, walk 1 minute slow. When I tell you it has changed so many people, walking has the same benefits as running. You just have to do it for a longer period of time. So definitely that would be for fitness, right? For nutrition, change one thing. That's it. Whether you're changing your oil, making it from like, I don't know, like vegetable oil to olive oil, or if like say with the sweets thing, for example, if we're changing like eating like candy, candy bars to like going to those chocolate covered blueberries, just change one thing. That's it. That's all. Don't be trying to take over the world when it comes. Maybe you just need to drink your water and mind your business. Because there's a lot of people that don't drink water. So maybe that would be the change. So for nutrition, just change one thing. And then mental and emotional health. I'm always a fan of just doing a self check-in. Just do a self check-in. And if you need to, lean on your support system for mental and emotional health, that's fine too. If you have somebody that you feel safe with, is a safe space with, check in like once. Me and my best friend, we check in once a week on Thursday mornings. So just do a self check-in and ask yourself, how am I showing up overall to life? How am I showing up the way I want to? So those are the three things that I would say. Like get moving in some type of way, walking. Eliminate one thing for nutrition, or not eliminate. Do one thing, for nutrition, and then mental, emotional. Do that self check in with yourself. I saw in the comment, drink your water, mind your business. That's one. That's another thing I say all the time. Drink your water, mind your business. But absolutely, there's those would be the three things that I would leave people with.
Well, thank you so much. We definitely appreciate you, Dominique. We're gonna have to bring you back, Queen, because we still have some more questions for you that we didn't get to
whenever you
ask.
want.
Definitely want to say thank you for coming in. Thank you for everyone that tuned in. If this conversation blessed you, please like and share. Don't forget to follow our pages and look up Dominique Thomas
For information.
coaching. And like I said, Dominique, if you don't mind, just shoot me over your information and we can drop that in the chat as well. And don't forget, guys, subscribe to our Tips and Tea live channel on YouTube and join us next Tuesday for our conversation. And remember, excuse me, if the struggle was real, the challenge was real, the setback was real, but you are still here, then
Yes.
you are going to keep growing. You are going to keep believing and keep moving forward. And remember, you did not die. You are still here. Chantel, you have anything you want to say before we close, Queen?
Did you die? No, you did not. So thank you for making it through this live, everybody. Shout out to you again, Queen Dominique, and thank you for just dropping so many gems here. We definitely appreciate your time and your energy at 5 a.m. that you came in with.
I do what I can,
Yeah. You see
But
how
did I
fast
die?
this conversation went. So we definitely, like C said, we need to do a part 2 because we didn't get there. We didn't get all the questions that we wanted to ask out. So, I definitely want to do a deeper dive on that space with being a business owner and just being in this industry and how you help so many people. So we got to do a part 2, everybody. We got to do a part 2. Y'all drop part 2 if y'all want to see Ms. Dominique come back. All right. But yes, see you all next week. Definitely thank you all again. Go check us out on YouTube, Tips and Tea Live, and we'll see you next Tuesday.
All right, everybody, have a blessed week.
Thank you.